Hello, guys, and welcome to a new review for Superman Man of Tomorrow. And as you can recognize, we're doing this through StreamYard because I have a guest. So, Sunny, would you like to introduce yourself, your channel, and all that fun jazz?
Yeah, hi guys. So my name is Sonny Dokia, and yeah, just to give you a little background on myself. So I've recently set up a YouTube channel called Hollywood Town. I do mainly movie reviews, but also videos like a top five series on actors, composers, and directors. And I also do Skype conversations with people like Kat, discussing various movies on different genres. So yeah, I'm excited to be on the show here today. If you want to follow me, you can do so on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So Twitter, it's at town_Hollywood, and Facebook and Instagram is Hollywood.town. So if you want to get updates on the latest videos, then yeah, by all means, follow me on social media.
Yeah, definitely go check out all of his social media. Go check out his YouTube channel if you enjoy film. I think you'll really enjoy it. But yeah, I wanted some help to discuss this movie this time around because this is one of the newer DC animated films. So we've had about 7 years of the same universe of films, and it's kind of hard to jump onto if you've never seen them before. Now they're doing more standalone stuff. So I've seen pretty much every DC animated film, maybe one or two I've missed here and there just because of the newer ones. Like I still have to see Superman, Red Sun. So yeah, maybe one or two I've missed, but overall I've seen them all. But Sunny, how many have you seen? And as a new viewer, do you think this was a good movie?
Yeah, some good questions there. So I'm a huge superhero fan. So anyone that's seen my YouTube videos will know that I love like all the Avengers movies and DC films as well. In terms of like animated films, so I'm going to be brutally honest. I've only seen like a handful of them. So the main ones are like the graphic novel based ones. So Batman Year One, and then the two-parter, The Dark Knight Returns. And then there's like a handful of others I've seen over the years. But I'll be brutally honest, I'm by no means an expert when it comes to the animated verse in terms of the super and whatnot. But just to, in terms of my overall thoughts in terms of this movie, I think it honors the mythology and origins of Superman. That's one of the criticism I have with the movie verse with regards to Henry Cavill's portrayal of the character, probably with the exception of Justice League. I've never been a big fan of that portrayal of Superman, the sort of dark, brooding portrayal. It's kind of more akin to Batman, what they do in the movies. But I think this animated film is a really good way of honoring the mythology. You know, the naive, socially awkward Clark Kent. You get loads of scenes with Lois Lane, and then when he's Superman, you know, you see him in all his, you know, brooding force with his X-ray vision and laser beams and whatever cool stuff he has with his powers. But yeah, that's just to give you a little flavor in terms of the animated movies that I've seen, and yeah, that's what my initial thoughts on the movie as well.
Yeah, I guess because I've been so like maybe a little bit drained of these films, it kind of felt like, especially also just reading comics and all that, it felt like everything we've gotten before, right? It didn't really have much new flavor, and that's what I was really disappointed with. It was very run of the mill. The villain was really run of the mill. The only small connections I really enjoyed was seeing Martian Manhunter. I thought was pretty cool, and Lobo kind of as a villain. But everything else just felt very forgettable for me. I thought the artwork was by the numbers as well. It's a little different from the New 52 stuff and the other DC animated films, but it kind of had like an Archer feel to me,
Yeah,
and which was interesting. Yeah, overall, I didn't love this one. I wasn't so entertained. I mean, I like the potential of the obviously Lois and Clark. I somewhat enjoyed Lois here and the journalism aspect to it. But yeah, it's definitely a story we've seen before, and I don't think they do anything unique with it.
yeah. I was gonna say, Kat, one thing criticism that I had, I think, kind of touched upon it with the villain Parasite. I got sort of Batman versus Superman feels, and not the good kind of feels either. Where every time like our hero hits Parasite, or it's the militia or the police, the overpowered nature of the villain was kind of something that really annoyed me. In the sense where there was no really vulnerability to the character. I know they had the spoiler alert for the for the cartoon is the human who's bonded with Parasite, and I get they try to make him a bit more relatable, and that was kind of cool. But in terms of the villain, I didn't really latch onto him in any shape or form, and yeah, I wasn't really keen on that progression of the villain whatsoever. So that's probably my only major gripe with the film. I mean, I didn't have any, too many problems with the film, but Parasite was my biggest issue, and it reminded me a lot of Doomsday. The overpowered nature every time you got hit by a missile or one of the heroes. I mean, I was going to say, Kat, did you get that sort of vibe when whenever he was on screen that unstoppable, basically, whenever he was on screen?
Yeah, I feel like the tension could have been better. One movie I do recommend out of the animated films is Death of Superman, because I feel like the battle was really well done, and even though you knew how it was going to end, I felt like the tension was really well built. But here it's just like, all right, we know who's going to win, and that's about it. But yeah, a big question I have for you is that do you believe that this will make you want to watch either the previous animated films, more Superman movies animated, or more of this line? They make these movies every 3 months or so. There's going to be another 4 in 2021. So do you feel like you're going to watch more, or was it just like, it was enough for just watching this version?
That's a really good question because, as I said at the beginning, I'm not really, well versed for the animated side of things. I think mainly because I'm not really, investing the time to watch it more so than the movies.
Which is understandable. It's a lot of time.
Especially with Marvel and DC films nowadays. I think it's like 3 or 4 just on Marvel side alone, and you've got all the DC films coming out soon as well. So yeah. But in terms of like the animated stuff, it'd be interesting to see the previous Superman incarnations because this was very much a origin focus. So it was trying to balance. Clark Kent's youth, and then balancing that with him being Superman. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the other adaptations do in terms of progression of the character. I'm not the biggest fan of origin stories, and that's again one of my nitpicks with this film is it kind of dwells a little bit too long on what we see. We've seen it so many times with various cartoons and the movies in terms of his origin, and it was like every time that was on screen, I wasn't really invested in it because I've seen it so many times by this point. So in terms of the other adaptations, I'd be keen to see where they progress Superman in terms of. I know there's an incarnation where he's like a really dark version of Superman, and then there's other aspects that they've explored over the years. So yeah, I think it'd be good just to compare the other adaptations to this one. So yeah, I mean, it's something that I'd probably do at some point in the future in terms of deep diving into the animated world, specifically because I know DC more or less knock out of the park when it comes to the animated stuff. Not so much the movies; are kind of hit and miss. But in terms of the animated stuff, I'm keen to see where they progress Superman up until this point. So yeah, definitely keen to do that in the future.
For sure. And I guess we'll start wrapping up. And what's your rating? I usually do have 5 stars, but whatever rating you'd like.
I'll go with the rating. So out of 5, I would probably say it's like a 3.5. It's a good adaptation. I think the things I took away from it was it honors the mythology of Superman. I think that's something that you can very easily butcher up, even with the cartoons. But I think they do a good job of paying respect to the Clark Kent character, the socially awkward aspect of that side. And I think the action stuff was really exciting whenever he was fighting Lobo or Parasite. It was really well framed, really well put together. And I think if the movie was a bit more action orientated, a bit more less focused on the origins of Clark Kent and Superman, and I think it probably would have got like a 4.5 or maybe even a 5. But that's probably my only nitpicks with the cartoon. But apart from that, voice acting was really good as well. Action was really good as well, and it was a really good effort. Considering it's the first animated film I'm seeing in God knows how long, it was a good experience to say the least. Yeah, so overall, I'm probably give it 3.5 out of 5. Yeah,
that's awesome. For me, I'm going a little lower. I'm gonna go probably a 2 out of 5. Again, maybe just because of the emotions of these films, seeing them every 3 months, we're like, oh, you want something completely different, and for me, it was more of the same. And they're expensive to get these films, especially if you're getting them digital. They're like $20, and you want to spend your money on it. Maybe wait until it goes on demand. That'd also be a recommendation. I don't think you need to run out to get this one by any means. If you're a Superman fan, at least they're doing something. I wouldn't say different because, like I said, it's more of the same. But at least it's not in the universe of the New 52. So at least it's not connected to a bigger picture, which is nice. And you get some new character designs, which is cool too. But yeah, we're going to start wrapping up. So Sonny, if you want to just plug your stuff one more time and we'll be on our way.
Yeah, sure. So if you guys want to follow me on YouTube, it's Hollywood Town. So the name, as you see on the screen, is Hollywood Town with an exclamation mark. So if you enjoy my videos, you can hit the like and subscribe buttons, and yeah, hit the notification bell for updates on the latest videos. In terms of the social media platforms, so I'm on Twitter, so you can follow me on @town_Hollywood, Instagram and Facebook. That's hollywood.town for both. So again, I also have a movie blog website as well, again called Hollywood Town. So from time to time, I write movie blog articles. So yeah, if you want to get update on that as well as the videos, yeah, feel free to follow me on social media. But yeah, it was a blast speaking to you, Kat, and it was an absolute joy being on the show as well. Yeah.
Of course, thank you. And yeah, you can follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Check out my comics like Fatherlight Daughter and They Call Her a Dancer. And every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time is our comic book podcast on Comic Frontline, where we talk all things comics. So be sure to check that out as well. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Cool. Take care.